Hi, guys.
Hey guys, welcome to another live edition of the His and Hers the Truth podcast.
Yes.
This is my lovely wife.
Sim, great seeing everyone. And thank you guys for showing us some love. I've noticed that our algorithm is going up, but you know what? I still see a lot of shadow watching because
Yes.
subscribing hasn't gone up as much. But you know what? I know you love our content, and if you do, please press a like and share and make comments towards the end of the show so that way we can also get some feedbacks. Because,
Yeah.
we love using your comments later on, as you can see, to read and have some reactions to it on His and Hers.
As much as I love seeing my wife do the shadow eyes, and I'm sure you guys love it too, right? You guys need to subscribe to the channel if you guys have viewed our our videos. And I've noticed, the recent uptick in just general views of our video is going up, and that's great, guys, because that's the whole point. Is we're trying to reach all our Asian brothers primarily, but our Asian sisters too. Hopefully, the few of you are listening to the truth,
Yes.
and hopefully changing your mindset, changing your purpose as far as what the truth is supposed to be about, and getting better outcomes. But obviously, like I was telling you guys, with the way the Asian men stats are right now, with the lowest freaking swipes on dating apps,
Yep.
one of the highest self-deletion rates,
Yeah.
right? Men's mental health I really think it's affecting the Asian men community,
Yeah.
right? And I don't think this is just a Western Asian man thing, guys.
It's all over.
I think this is an overall thing. You see it with some of our videos that we've commented on Japan, with China. With Korea, right?
The Philippines, everywhere. It's
Correct.
affecting
It's
the Asian brothers.
It's
so.
going to affect worldwide because, guys, the same traits that affect the Asian Western man is going to be the same traits that are going to affect Asian men globally, right? Because women want the top values, okay? And guys, we're going to talk about that a little bit in today's live. That's why I'm so super excited about it. But before I get into that, let's go over a few notifications, right? So today we're having a live with a special guest, guys.
Yep.
And we're just waiting for him. He's
He'll be
getting
here
off
soon.
work, so he's going to be here soon. But he's going to bring some really good content, insight, advice to all my Asian brothers out there that's looking to level up because he's still in the game.
Yep.
And so definitely excited to get into that aspect of the channel. But of course, guys, as promised too, right? We always try to do a reaction and comments reaction video, right? For the first of the month. And so we're going to combine that today as well too before he arrives, right? So some of your recent comments and questions we're going to be reacting to.
Yes.
Okay, and then lastly, guys, like I said, moving forward this year, one of the things we're going to do more, starting with this live today, is bringing you guys more content creators, more people influencers, Asian specifically, right, to touch on the Asian cultures and the things that we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis and moving forward in the future. But it's hopefully to give you guys advice, whether that's finance, fitness, fame, image, all those things for my Asian brothers to level up from an Asian perspective, right? Like how someone that's obviously in the same kind of situation you guys are, how to answer, how to tackle those questions, and how to navigate it in this new globalized sexual market.
Yep.
Okay, so that's going to be one of our goals, guys. So I know we had a lot of guests this year and just kind of promoting and, obviously showcasing Asian excellence and Asian culture, but we're going to continue to do that. But moving forward with those guests, we're going to ask them specifically how to help you guys level up and get better, right? Okay, so today, like I said, right now, we're going to start reacting to some of your guys' recent questions and comments.
Yes,
And
we
so
will.
we'll start with that. All right, let's begin.
Get the ball rolling.
Yep.
Here we go.
Yeah, just give us a second, guys. We're going to load it up here shortly. There we go. All right, so this was from our video recently where Owl of Asia had made a video of, I believe it was a single woman crisis in China. But anyway,
that one.
Weird Asia, at Weird Asia, responded 2 weeks ago. He said, awesome podcast, good discourse. Thanks for featuring my video. Oh, so this is the same guy that does the at Owl of Asia content. Thanks, honey.
There you
So
go.
that's awesome, guys. Hey, thank you so much
Thanks.
for at Owl of Asia, at Weird Asia for reaching out to us. I would love to do a guest appearance with you because you're doing your thing out there. Like I said, I would love to showcase my Asian brothers and sisters that are excelling out there. And then, of course, just have a discussion. Like I said, a lot of these topics that we're reacting to in your videos as well, I think they're topics that need to be discussed and needs to be addressed by the Asian community.
Need to be said and need to be heard.
Yeah, it needs to be brought out, right? Okay.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. All right, so this one was about 7 days ago, and I believe it had to do with, I can't remember which video this was on, but this was in a video where I kind of said that there's not much Asian women options out there nowadays in the modern world, right? But at Shakar Carwin 9475 states, I have stopped dating modern women. I am more old school kind of man that are traditional and want a traditional woman and soon wife. Yeah. Honey, what? I get that, but what's your initial reaction, honey, to this comment?
Well, it's a little bit harder with these days because it's, you want a modern woman, but most modern women now have, hey, I can do this by myself, type thing. So you're not going to get really an old school. It's sort of like trying to find needle in a haystack.
Okay, I'll get to that in a second. I'll get to that. My wife is 100% correct, and she spoke generalities, right? But what I wanted to talk about more is at Shikarawan 9475. This is the mindset that you guys need to wake up from. I get it. You're a traditional Asian man. I'm assuming you're Asian, right? That's the reason why you're on this channel, commenting to our reactions, commenting to our videos, maybe, right? Yep. Right? I can't imagine. And it says here, too, like, I'm an old school kind of man. He's literally talking about dating Asian traditional women or traditional women. So I'm assuming you're Asian, my Asian brother, right?
Maybe.
But anyways, comment. Hey, right now it's time to comment. Yep. But my point is, this is the mindset that my Asian brothers need to eliminate. We are not going back. Women are not going to be traditional. And see, this is the other thing. This is one of the things I wanted to talk about today and bring it up. Guys, we talk about traditional like it is something that is weird or like different. No. Women are women. Yep. Women are not, quote unquote, traditional because women will be women. Women want the best man. When you say traditional, what I think about, and this is the problem, most people don't think the way I think because you and I speak about the truth, honey. When people think about traditional, what you're talking about is the old school matrices. That's what I'm trying to get at. You're talking about the old school Tradcon matrix, the old school religious matrix, the old school Asian culture matrix, right? Where you had a system in place to shame people
if they did anything
to
wrong.
act and obviously review marriage a certain way, right? But we're not in those things anymore.
Nope.
Right? We're living in a time where all those matrices, all these traditions, all these cultures has fallen, and we're reverting back to our own biological instinct. And our own biological instinct says that we want the top tier men as women, right? The guys with the most finance, fame, resources, status, right? Fitness, 6 foot tall, right? That's why you hear all these things that women want because they're reverting back to the best of what they want. This is what humans
always
want.
Has been.
And same thing with men. You're not going to change our programming. You can say that we need to be moral and freaking, commit to one woman, right? But when you're a top tier dude, you want multiple women. You want multiple partners. You want to have sexual access to all the women. And that's what I'm trying to say. All these traditional matrices are no longer in place, especially with social media. Right? You have access to everyone right now. If you're a top tier dude, you can DM a chick. If you're a chick, you're going to get a DM from a top tier dude. Right? So this mindset of being an old school man, my Asian brothers, you cannot have that mindset anymore. You can say, I want to be a man. Right? You're a man. You want certain things in your partner, wife, right? I can't stand partner, right?
Wifely duties.
Right, but you want certain things in your woman, which is you want her fit, you want her feminine, and you want her not to be a hoe, right? You want her to have a low body. These are things that aren't traditional. You see what I'm saying? It has nothing to do traditional. It has to do with the truth. This is what men want all the time. Doesn't matter if you're a freaking Asian, a black, if you're a
white,
tradcon,
Hispanic,
if you're a
doesn't
freaking
matter.
Asian. It doesn't matter. These are universal things that
we
men want. Okay? And so we need to stop looking at that, because I'm going to wait for Tai Pham to get here.
Yep.
Right? And see what his thoughts are on that, because I'm going to bring that up with him, because he sees it all the time dealing with Asian men, right? And seeing how that mindset affects us.
And if you're not even Asian man and you're tuning into our channel, welcome. So if you're not, then hey,
I appreciate it. I appreciate the comments, but guys, and I get it. Hey, there's levels. We can passport bro it, right? You can go to some other countries. You can look at some different ethnicities, right? Maybe you can look at certain things like, how do they have a dad? Do they have a family thing? But guys, nowadays with social media, and that's the last thing I want to end it on, because he says, I want a traditional woman and soon wife. You can always guarantee that women will be women. Now, if you want that traditional woman, like I said, maybe passport bro it. Maybe you'll find a small pocket of them somewhere still in the U.S. that hasn't been tainted by social media. But the problem is that's no longer. Okay, so quit looking for that. Be a man and realize that women are women. And if you want a woman to be quote unquote traditional, you better be the high value man, because that's how the market is now, guys. Right? All right, next comment. Oh, same comment from same person. And second, I am tired of this kind of talk about beta, alpha, omega shit. Just say child, boy, and man instead. Beta, alpha, and omega is usually words that you use on wolves and teenage TV shows. Oh, man, I can tell already that you are not woken up. No. But anyways, hey, honey, what is your thoughts? I'll let you react first. What do you think about him saying that we shouldn't use these terms anymore? What do you think about that? And that we should look at the words. Okay, be very specific. Look at the words.
I wouldn't say child. I mean, we're trying to talk about, men, especially Asian men that is being, swiped off, that needs help, that's being depressed, lonely, whatever else, that we're trying to make them woken. So for a man and child, you won't get there unless you yourself change to your next generation. And this is what we're trying to achieve. So
I would say, guys, let's not ignore the truth by trying to change definitions. Right? I'm sick and tired of this generation of people in general wanting to redefine things. Right? I mean, I can come up with a lot of things, right? We're dealing with it right now in our current culture, right? With the left trying to change certain definitions all the time, right? And let's be honest, guys, it's been going on for the last several decades, right? We don't call a janitor anymore. We don't call him a mechanic anymore. What's up? How's it going, right? We call a janitor a sanitation technician now, right? Or we call a mechanic a automotive technician. We have all these things to make things sound nicer than they really need to be, right? Things are what they are. The truth is the truth, right? And so when we say beta, what we mean is a lower value man, someone that isn't ready to pursue the truth, right? That means you don't have the values necessary to get the best outcome for the truth. When you say alpha, what that means is you have the values that are necessary to pursue the truth. But you're right, Shakarawan, right? It doesn't mean that an alpha is a top tier dude, right? Because this is where our language, unfortunately, is messed up, right? Because just because you have the traits to pursue the truth doesn't mean you have the mindset of the purpose. And that's what I'm trying to say. An alpha guy, for example, I'll give you guys an example of an alpha that doesn't have the mindset of the truth, right? And as much as I respect him and everything like that, as much as I think he's doing it right, Leonardo DiCaprio, right? He's got all the values to obviously get the right women, right? Get the top tier women, get virgin women, have, in essence, get a high value woman, right? And he has obviously his choice, and he can probably have multiple women,
Yeah,
right?
he probably does already.
And so he has the opportunity to have multiple kids, right? And
But he's not doing it.
give his kids the best opportunity. He has the resources, he has the looks, he can get the women with the looks, with the femininity, with the fidelity. And obviously, he has the money to support them and everything like
not
that.
doing it.
But he doesn't have that purpose, right? And so he's just an alpha with no purpose right now,
Yep.
right? And I get it. Omega, Sigma, whatever you want to call it, those are the guys that are supposed to be just chill, right? They're supposed to be the guys that's just like working on themselves and stuff like that.
Yep.
For some strange reason, we think that that guy is better than an alpha guy. Guys, if you're not on the pursuit of the truth,
Yep.
and if you never get the truth, meaning if you never have kids and you give the best outcome for your kids, you lost. It doesn't matter. That's the metric. If you guys just remember one thing from our channel, one thing from the channel, that is the purpose and that is the end game. If you guys achieve that, then great. You've won this game. You've won the world. If you don't get that, you've lost. It doesn't matter if you become a billionaire, you're 6'7", hung like a horse with a 10-inch freaking ding-a-ding, right? It don't freaking matter.
Yep.
Have all the freaking women in the world. You don't have a kid. You don't
have
pass on your
legacy.
lineage, right? And it dies with you.
Yep.
You've lost.
And one of our other example, Paul Allen. There you
Well,
go.
Paul Allen wasn't alpha in everything, right?
I
he
know,
had
but
the
he's got
resources, right? He's
resources,
got
the
the resources,
money,
the
he got all
money,
that
the
stuff.
status.
But still.
But he wasn't obviously
didn't
the
have any,
fitness,
yeah.
right? But anyways, Shakarawan and all my other brothers out there,
Yeah.
don't try to change the language to make you feel better. This is not about feeling better. This is about results, right? We want the results, right? If you don't get a girl ever, and I just tell you, oh, it's okay, you're a good person, there's someone out there for you. Be a nice guy. Don't worry about it. Someone will be there for you. Is that really what's going to make you actually be better
Yeah.
and actually make you not depressed? Or if I tell you, slap you in the face like, hey, we got to get this values up. If
Yeah.
you want these results, we got to put in work to get these results, right? And this is the truth, right? This is the thing I'm opening your eyes to see. This is what women want.
Yep.
Right? This is what you want as a man, right? You don't want no freaking over the hill, 40-year-old, can't have a kid
Yep.
just because you can get sex with her, right? She's going to treat you like a freaking equal partnership, bull crap, right? You don't want that, right? The only people that want that, let's go back to the definitions, are beta-ass dudes, okay? So no, let's not change the channel. Let's not change the definition. Let's continue using the words. Let's just use the words correctly,
Correct,
though.
yep.
Use the definitions correctly.
And if
All
you have
right.
any questions,
Yeah,
definitely
hey,
make
comment
comments
on
again.
this show, right? I'd love to hear, like I said, opposing views. We can debate about it, right? So, all right, next comment. Oh, that's it?
Okay.
Okay, guys, hey, we're just setting up, but our
Yep.
special guest of the day is here. Super excited for him to be back on the channel, be back on the video. I think this is going to be a great show because this is one of the things that I think both he and I share, which is we're trying to improve Asian men's lives. We're
Yep.
trying to get them to be better, get them the results that they want, right? And then now I think he's going to be able to provide realistic, right,
Insights.
pragmatic, live action, day to day, because he's out there in the streets, in the game, playing the game right now.
Yep.
You know, whereas us, you know, right, we've been married for over 20 years. Yeah, we pursued the truth. We've been successful in the truth, but we're not playing the game in
No.
this day and age, right? We're trying to tell you guys how the game is played, but we're going to have someone come on right now that's going to show you guys how the current game is actually being played right now.
Yes.
Okay? And I think that's going to be great. So, yeah, whenever you're ready, bud. All right,
Okay.
have a seat. I'll get you.
Right here. And then you can adjust your. Yeah. Okay.
Well, we can talk about that when Ty gets a
Yeah.
chance to sit down. Because, yeah, I'd love to hear kind of what the mindset of the general Asian guy. Hey, welcome back, man. Thank you
Welcome
so much,
back.
first and first.
Yeah, great.
Hey, before we get into all that, why don't you introduce yourself first, okay? Tell people what you're about. I know you were on the show before, but why don't you reintroduce yourself and just kind of tell people what you're about, what you do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I am Tai Pham. I forgot there's another camera there.
Yeah, Hi.
I'm Tai Pham. I am the coach for Asian basketball. So I help Asian American men use fitness as a way to be more confident,
Yep.
to be more stylish, and to have a better life. So my coaching revolves around fitness, helping guys eat their favorite foods like rice and noodles,
Nice.
and get lean.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay.
like the main pillar for everything.
So,
Okay.
would you say that you primarily focus on fitness aspect, the diet and the fitness? Do you get into like image, dress,
Dress.
hair, like all that stuff?
Everything.
Okay, awesome.
First and foremost, I actually have a client right after this.
Nice.
And the first thing that we talk about is the pain points. Is why do you want to get in shape? Like, why do you want to lose weight? You know, they give you the typical answers. I want to be healthy. I want to have more energy. I want to be more confident. What does that
Okay,
mean?
so when you say this, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but when you say is it's kind of like a general thing in terms of what most of your clients come to you for?
Yeah.
And
100%.
okay, go ahead, and continue.
So pretty much what they come to me is they want to lose 15, 20 pounds.
Yep.
And they're looking to be more confident, healthy, very surface level. But then we get deep.
Yeah.
That's going to be 20, 30 minutes of the conversation. We don't even talk about fitness. We don't talk about training regimen. We don't talk about nutrition. We talk about why do they want to get in shape.
Okay.
We get to the real problem.
Yeah.
Confidence. It could be dating, could be sex life, could be relationship with their wife, could be just feeling good, right, about themselves. They need to have that confidence.
So right now, in general, what is your split? Is most of these guys single, looking for girls, or are they in relationships already,
And
trying to
build up.
improve?
Yeah, and improve.
Trying to improve.
I would say 3/4 of my clients are single, and then the other quarter is either they have kids or they're in a happy marriage. Some of them divorced. Some of them are single fathers. So
Yeah.
it's a big mix, and they're sometimes a lot older. Sometimes, I mean, I have the youngest is probably 18.
Okay.
So it's wide ranging age
Ages.
groups, but from what it sounds like, the majority of them are single now, because even though they're divorced or a single dad, they had prior relationships, but the majority are single now, and they're trying to get better results.
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So that's pretty much the biggest thing about Asian men, especially with coaching.
Is it just Western Asian men, like guys here in the States, or guys here in like more of a Western society, UK? Do you guys get anything from like UK, Australia, those things at all?
So I have people reach out to me that are from UK, Australian, but I mainly focus on Asian American men because they have different, challenges.
Yes.
UK and Australia are about the same. They usually deal with the same stereotypes and same issues, but I find it more difficult within the US.
Yeah.
Right? So there's obviously a difference between Asian American men in the US versus Asian men in China, Vietnam. There's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Why do you think that? Because I was going to bring that topic up today on the show, and let's get into that.
Yeah, so
why do you
Dive in.
think there's
Let's
that
dive
difference?
in,
Yeah.
Kai.
Well, like think about it. You come to America, like my parents came here as immigrants, and I kind of don't have, in my personal identity, it's hard to figure out, am I Asian enough? Am I American enough? There's a huge split. Fortunately enough, here in Seattle, Bellevue area, there's a huge Asian American community.
Yeah.
But here's the thing is, most of them don't even speak their native language. Some of them aren't even, caught up with their own culture. They're not even close to their family. And it is a huge difference.
Would you say most of your clients fall into kind of that category?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay.
So they have a huge issue with identity,
Yeah.
right? They have no sense of self, and that's why they're not confident.
What do you attribute to that? Why do you think that loss of identity for Asian American men specifically?
It's because men are taught certain aspects from their family, from either single moms,
Yeah.
a broken family, or they're just taught values that are contradictory to the US or American, stereotypes, right? So we kind of fall under that category of, Eastern philosophy. Study hard, work hard,
Yeah.
Make money, get a good job, hopefully you find a wife and then you live happy ever after. But
Yeah.
now there's a huge, especially now, it's a huge gap between getting exposure from connections, getting a job. It's not enough to just have a degree. Now, when you apply to a job, it's like you need to have at least a year or two experience. Like, you just got out of school. How the hell do you have experience?
Yeah.
And then you're expected to have all these expectations from your family. It's like, oh, you got a degree, you should be good. You're all set. Go on your own.
Okay. But we talk about this on the channel all the time, and I really want your insight on this because Asian men in general excel at school, excel at finance, right? So that doesn't seem to be, in general, our problem, right?
An issue.
So in your experiences and in your clients, what do you see that problem is? If we got the finance, right, and the freaking, resources down, and we have our intelligence down, right? What's the cause of the not getting that results that we want? What the identity too? Why can't we latch ourselves on to that identity aspect?
I think it's also validation, right? It comes down to validation. We're doing it just because our parents have told us to do it, right? But then the results don't come easy, right? You're expected to have this straight line path, yet you don't get the result.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So now you're like, okay, when you get rejected, you kind of have this sense of self-doubt. Now
When you say rejected by whom?
let's say you don't get the job that you want, right? Now it trickles down to, okay, you're not going to get the girl you want. Now you don't get the results that you want. When you already have this path of, okay, you got straight A's, you're 4.0 student, you have all these, you're excelling in education, but now the career aspect isn't there. Let's say, for example, you do get the career, but then you have to, get validation from your boss. You got to get validation from somewhere else.
Let me go back to the beginning. What you said was, all these men come to you because they're looking to improve themselves, self-level, but they're not getting the results that they want. Or, for example, you're saying that you have this really in-depth conversation with them. What did you find out from them? What is their purpose? Why do they come to you?
A lot of it comes down to confidence.
Okay.
Right? That's the main thing in terms of why they come to me is.
But what are they looking to achieve? I mean, they're gonna get this. Dude, handsome dude, well-to-do. You're gonna teach them. I know you got the results, and I'm sure your clients are getting the results. But I'm curious on what is their purpose to get those results from you.
What's their purpose?
Yeah.
I'm gonna reframe that question. Is that their why? Right?
Yeah, their why.
Why
are they doing this? Yeah.
Because they want validation from themselves. That's
themselves. Okay.
Confidence is very broad, very, very broad. When it comes down to validation, it's like, okay, why do you want to be confident? Oh, I want to look good. It's like, why do you want to look good? Well, I want to feel more attractive. Why do you want to feel more attractive? Well, I want to get a girlfriend. I want to go on dates, right? And before I even get in these calls, I look at their profile. I already vet them out. It's like, okay, well, you're overweight. You're 24, 31, whatever. You're single. You've been struggling for the last few years. What have you been doing for the last 5 to 6 years that isn't giving you the result? Right? And it trickles down to, okay, well, if nothing's worked, why keep doing the same thing over and over again?
What have they focused on, these guys that you run into? Like, what is their primary, what they've been doing for the last 5 years? Like, what are these?
It's a lot. It's like
Same
different
thing.
program, same programming, YouTube videos, not investing themselves, which is a huge thing. It's like, oh, free. I want free. I want free. I want free. But if you give them the free, I tested this with my friends and community as well. It's like, I'll give you a free program. I'll give you a free training and nutrition protocol. All you need to do is give me a testimonial. Free. But they have no why. They don't. It's just free to them. So when you attach the why is, let me reframe that. Actually, what happens if you don't do it? What happens if you don't get in shape? Well, I'm going to stay single. I'm probably going to be doing the same thing. I'm not going to be healthy. I'm not going to find my wife. I'm not going to be attractive. Bingo. Okay. Would you rather stay with where you are right now? Or would you take the time, put in the work, and slowly build yourself and give you your sense of validation? Because you don't need that from anybody. You don't need that from a girl. You don't need that from your parents. You don't need any of that.
From yourself.
You just need it from yourself. But your support system's going to be there for you. So they need to be the driving force on why they want to do it. And they are also the reason why they're there and why they're stuck.
I'm gonna call out in the room. I've been kind of poking you at these questions,
Yeah.
and I've been poking you because you obviously are feeling the pulse of the Asian men, right? Asian American men. And I think what you described earlier in terms of losing our identity, not being able to speak our native tongue, right? We're more Americanized than we are whatever ethnicity we are, but we also aren't Americanized enough,
Yeah.
right? And then we have all these cultural idiosyncrasies about ourselves where we just focused on finance and school and stuff like that. Real quick, before I get into my, I guess, question, has that hurt us as Asian American men? Have you noticed that focus on just the question I was going to ask you before it got cut off
Before you
short,
forget.
right? Does our I guess our focus on finance hurt us?
Yeah.
Yes.
So my answer was yes. If we focus on financing and the money, man, there's so many different aspects that you can tackle, right? Well, let's say you got the money, but you don't have the social skills.
Yeah.
You don't have the resources. You're not capable of being resilient. You know, it's gonna be a tough time for a lot of Asian American men.
Yeah.
Would you say a lot of our Asian brothers are in stereotypical industries? Are they IT
Oh
engineer?
yeah, 100%. So I have clients that are nurses,
Yeah.
right? A lot of Filipinos are nurses, flight attendants. I also have guys that are in the restaurant business, IT, you know, the stereotypical, you know, jobs, right?
Okay.
Pretty safe. So that's where the stereotypes come in. Like I can just tell right from their profile photo. I'm like, all right, I already know what kind of industry you're in.
Okay. So let's real quick, and because we have a lot of time, a lot of things to talk about,
yeah.
but not a whole lot of time.
Let's dig right in.
What do you think is the one thing in our Asian culture that influences us for that reason? If you had to put, Tai Pham had to put one thing that would cause that outcome?
I think it's just pressure from family. Pressure from family. You know, if you're being told every single day,
Yep.
you need to work hard or else you're not going to be successful.
Yep.
That's going to put fear in your heart, and you're going to be in that scarcity mode, right? So the influence from your family, your friends, it's going to judge your trajectory in life.
Yep.
And let's say, for example, you don't succeed, right? Now it goes into identity.
Yeah.
It goes into your mindset. It goes into how you operate, how you see yourself, how you see people around you, right? So your circle is everything.
Yep.
You know, not only family, not even family, blood family. You need to have people in your life.
Do Asian men though have a good circle? Can you talk about that a little bit real quick? Because I feel like our Asian brothers, we don't really keep a good circle around
No.
us.
It depends. It's on different levels. I'm gonna speak on my experience.
Okay.
I have a really good circle of friends that I've known for years.
Yeah.
But those are my day ones. I can rely on them for anything. If I have a flat tire, I can call them and get me out of that situation.
Yeah.
But in terms of growth, I had to go to my day twos.
Yeah.
So a lot of my friends that are day ones, they're a lot of Asian men. Most of them are Asian American guys. My day twos are a lot of African American men. I'm actually the only one of the guys inside my other community that is trying to level myself up so I can show these guys, man, you
can level
come on.
up. Yeah.
Come on with me.
That's what we're saying.
Thank you for bringing that up, because this is kind of what I suspected, and I hope you can confirm for me. Is Asian men hurting each other because we don't have a why? We don't know our purpose. We've been telling ourselves, well, we haven't, but our community, our
Community
parents,
has told.
whatever, has been telling us to be successful, but not why. What is the difference between your Asian group one circle versus your number twos. What is the purpose that the number twos told
telling
you versus the number ones that's given you a better outlook?
It's not about the money.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it is not about the money.
Yeah.
That's the biggest difference. The
Mhm.
money's gonna come,
Mm-hmm.
but it's all about leveling yourself up to eventually get the money, to eventually get the girl, to eventually have the life that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Versus my day one's like, I'm gonna have a comfortable job. I'm gonna be doing my thing. I'm gonna retire by 35, 45, you know, and then live my life.
Yeah.
But what is there else to talk about, right? Can we talk about how are you doing mentally? How's your day? What kind of challenges are you going through? I don't have those conversations with them. I have to go to my day two. It's like, I can call them. It's like, yo, how are you doing? We can go straight into it. It's like, how are you doing mentally? How are you doing emotionally? What's going on with, you know, your girl? Oh, man, I'm down bad right now. I'm down 10,000. Can I talk to you real quick?
They're more open about
They're
it.
more open. I had a gentleman call me today. He's like, I just need to talk to someone. I just need to call someone right now because I'm going through a tough time where I want to go all in with this business, but my parents are telling me don't do it. It's dumb, right? Or vice versa. When I recently had a breakup, very short term relationship. We can get into that.
You personally?
Yeah,
Okay.
personally. So this was probably in July, end of July, starting August, and we broke up. And it was very short, but it was very emotional. It's like I need to call someone.
Yeah.
Let me call my guys
Okay.
real quick. You know.
Would you say that the problem with Asian men, once again, I don't want to beat on this dead horse because I want to move to another topic. You
Yeah.
got a lot of stuff to give our Asian brothers advice, but do you think it's because, once again, the Asian man doesn't talk about some of these things because all they have been told to focus on is finance?
Yeah.
And so if they are struggling with finance, then they're going to be shamed to talk about it, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Is that, and so it's almost kind of like this insecurity, right? Would
Yeah.
you say that to
Yeah,
be the case?
exactly. They're not open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I have calls with my clients. This is the first time they're opening up to someone. They don't even tell their. I'm like,
Yeah.
to be honest, you're not. Your wife probably doesn't know about this.
Yeah.
Your wife doesn't know about this. Your girlfriend doesn't know about this. Your close friends don't even know about this. And I'm the only one that can talk to you about this because I've been through it.
Yeah.
You know.
Got it. So even so, like I said, even so, let's say, what is you said about maybe 80% of your clients are single.
Yeah.
So the remaining 20% that are maybe in
Married.
relationships, they're still insecure about this.
Yep.
They don't want to talk to their wives.
Yeah.
They don't want to open up to somebody about it.
Yep.
Okay. Whereas your number twos, these guys are obviously other ethnicities, black friends, white friends, whatever. They're open to talk about it. And I noticed one thing you said key that they talk about in terms of the purpose. They said, get a girl. Do you see a lot of your Asian American clients or friends that your number one circles? Do you see a lot of them saying, I want to have a wife, a family, a kid with
build.
my purpose? That's the reason why I have my purpose?
So my day ones, it's very childish. Very childish. Like we don't even talk about it. Like the last relationship I had, I didn't even tell him.
Wow. Okay.
You know, I didn't even tell
And
him.
how long you know these guys? Just FYI.
Like 10 years.
Okay, so a
10
long
long
time.
time.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, very like, oh yeah, I'll just F her, you know,
Just
we'll go
play
out,
around.
play around, or like we don't have these serious conversations unless I bring it to them,
Yeah.
and there's no growth within the relationship, right?
Okay.
I'm all about growth. Like, where do you want to go? Where do you see yourself in the
Yeah.
next 10 years from now? Or do you? And if I do bring up the conversation with women, it's like, yeah, I just need more money.
Yeah.
What? How? What,
You-
what you can do.
So when you ask,
I would ask my friends, like, okay, so are you dating right now? How is this girl? Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Right? Oh yeah. So what are you gonna do to improve yourself in your dating life? Oh, I'm just gonna wait for someone to come around my life and make that happen. Like,
Okay.
well,
Man, this is very interesting.
you're
Yeah.
number one, you're not going out, you're not making new friends, you're not finding quality women that you want to be in your life. You're not figuring out who you want to be with, right? You're not testing the waters. I was very against dating, but now I'm in that season of like, okay, I kind of know what I want in a woman now. It's getting clearer and clearer. I'm not playing around. I'm not fooling around with anything like that. I'm figuring out who's going to be an ideal partner for me.
Yeah.
Who's going to be a great mother for me. You know, who's going to take care of my kids,
Yeah.
right? Can I bring them to my day ones, or can I have my day twos like vet her out,
Yeah.
right? So
Would your day ones be good at vetting?
no, I take that back. I personally, I'm afraid to bring her to my day ones,
Yeah.
to my old friends, like, oh, I don't know. Because that's a reflection of me, right? My day ones are a reflection of who I am and how I grew up.
Yeah.
So if they see them, it's like, wow.
Are you still primarily trying to get Asian women? Like,
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
that's still
100%.
your main focus.
Yeah.
You're not looking at any other ethnicities for the most part.
I like French girls because I was
Yeah.
in Paris. They're pretty. I like
Yeah,
French girls.
yeah.
Yeah, modest. They're they're very different from.
Hey, there's Asian French mix.
I-
I have
yeah.
a friend that's
I've-
Asian French mix, and ooh, she's
Beautiful.
hot. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she's
beautiful.
beautiful.
100%.
Beautiful.
Especially
Yeah,
when she's
okay.
speaking French too.
Yeah,
Sounds
or
like-
Spanish girls.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
too,
Filipinos
yeah.
over there.
Let's talk about this because there's some of the stuff. Hey, my Asian brothers out there who's viewing this right now.
Yes.
I'm hoping you guys are getting some really good experiences and some really good advice because
Mm-hmm.
I really feel that everything that you discussed so far
Mm-hmm.
really is the Asian American man experience right now.
Yep.
Upbringing, how we are, what we focus on,
Mm-hmm.
what we've been told growing up. I want to touch back just real quick.
Yeah.
The naiveness,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I felt this as well as an Asian American man growing up, not speaking my native tongue,
Yeah.
not really knowing my identity, right? Hanging around with people, but they always knew me as the Asian guy, but not the American guy, right? So where do you think this naive mindset comes from? Because I feel like that's kind of how a lot of Asian men, until we really get it, because it didn't switch off for me personally until I was probably, this sucks to say, guys, but probably in my either late 20s or early 30s. And it wasn't until I've already owned my business for a little bit. I've already been a little bit successful. Already had a relationship, family. And it's kind of like, why does it take so long for us to mature? For lack of better words.
It's because we don't. We've never experienced. I wouldn't say never. In my experience, I've never hit rock bottom. Right? You don't know what being confident is unless you know what being insecure looks like, and you need to be self-aware of that. Right? Let's say for example, I cannot speak on everybody's experience, but for me, that was probably when I was 23, 24, still in college, Western Washington. My circle was telling me, we don't mess with these guys. Let's say the dance community, right?
Yeah.
Break dancers versus hip hop people. We don't mess with the hip hop guys.
Okay.
We got our own circle here.
Yeah.
We're better than
All
them.
Asians, though?
Most of them are Asian.
Okay.
Yeah, all Asians, right?
Interesting. Okay.
We don't mess with them because we're better. We're like up here. Oh, I'm like, okay, cool. I'll follow that. Oh, we don't go out to parties. We don't do that. All right, okay, we don't do that. But then I realized, like, man, this is kind of lonely. Like, how am I gonna find a girlfriend? I'm going to school. I have this whole network
Circle.
right? Or campus. I have this
Yeah.
campus. I can play around. I
Yeah.
didn't do that. I'm gonna wait for the right. I'm gonna go hit the gym. I'm gonna have someone notice me. Then I realized that the last I believe the last year of college, I'm like, I want to make friends. But how do I do that? Right? And I started being self-aware. I'm like, man, I feel kind of lonely. I'm not getting where I want to be. Right? I'm not putting in the reps that I need to find success, whether that's business, relationships,
Yep.
friendships. I'm not putting the work. I'm not putting the reps. I'm waiting for things. That's when the switch came on. I'm like, oh, okay, now I need to
Where do you think that waiting mindset came from? Because that's what I'm kind of curious about. Because
Yeah.
a lot of Asian men struggle with this.
Right.
A lot of us has this mindset that it'll come.
It's just a timeline. We just have a timeline that's already set, right? You go to school.
Your
you got 4 years.
Yep.
4 years and you're done. Okay, now you got 3 years to get your master's, and then you can start applying. That's going to be another year.
Yeah.
You get your job. You have this whole timeline waiting for you. You just gotta follow it.
Because you've been told.
You've been
Told
told that.
that
Parents.
timeline.
Parents been telling you.
Society,
Okay.
Yeah.
surroundings. Yep.
Exactly.
So let's get some real advice now.
Yeah.
I can tell you how I broke out of it, but
Yeah.
I want to hear from you, right? Because I think you're in the game. You're young. I think you can speak to a lot of my, Asian
Younger
brothers out there.
views.
Yeah.
What got you out of that mindset?
Mm.
Because right? This is, hey guys, all Asian parents have done this to us. All Asian community structure has had
Distilled.
us make this mindset, right? Told us what to do. Follow this structure. How did you break that mold?
I put myself in rock bottom.
Okay.
I put myself in a position where I'm like,
That's not easy to do either.
Oh, no,
because
no.
another thing I wanted to preface what you said too. The reason why a lot of us doesn't hit rock bottom is because a lot of Asian families are well-to-do.
Yep.
yeah,
What's 100% the
And
truth,
they
guys.
back them up. most
Right,
of the
and so
time, too.
they've given us a well-to-do, pretty relaxed lifestyle, and so we've never been put in that position to hit rock bottom.
because our immigrant families they already hit rock bottom. They
Yeah.
escaped, right? Vietnamese families, they escaped. They build a life for themselves, and then they're wealthy, and then they're like, hey, don't do what I did. You know, I came here for you, and that's the social pressure that's put on kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. And because Bellevue or whoever I've been surrounding myself with, we're pretty
Decent.
right?
Yeah.
But some communities aren't, right?
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
differences, but
the key is there's always that kind of that safety net there, even if
it's
you're
comfort.
not.
Comfort.
Yeah.
No one wants to leave that area of like, okay, do we take risks?
Yeah.
Do we leave our neighborhood? Do we get out of this gang life? It applies to every other circle. So to go back, how I broke that mold was my parents are pretty well off, right? And they support us, paid for school, everything. I'm like, okay, I just gotta follow their directions. I'll be good. Just do pharmacy. But then I failed. I almost failed college.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, I'm gonna do what I want to do, personal training. Right. So I went through personal training, got my certificate. Actually, I'm gonna go back.
Okay.
I got influenced by my good friend to start a business. I'm like, what kind of business should I do?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to do hair product. So I asked, my parents, can you invest in me $5,000 to do this business? This was in college. I'm like, I'm gonna start researching. I'm gonna do it. Got the product, wasn't that great. I'm like, damn, I just wasted $5,000.
But you tried.
I tried. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna try doing something. Okay.
Yeah.
After I graduated, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use my degree as a mouse pad. I'm not gonna use it.
Yeah.
I already looked at jobs like bioanthropology. You need experience to get a job. It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna do it. So let me do personal training. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
24-hour fitness. Made the most sales in 3 months during the summertime. That's the
Good
hardest
job.
time. Hardest time. But I never got validated from my boss. So I saw an ad on Facebook about how to make money on online coaching.
Yes.
Oh, okay, this is gonna be easy.
Yeah.
90 days to make 5,000-10,000. Got on a sales call with him. It was good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be $6,000 to invest. I'm like, I don't have $6,000.
Yeah.
I don't have $6,000 in my bank account.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I rather stay in 24-hour fitness as a personal trainer, making $20 an hour,
Yep.
and slaving away trying to get clients and making money for the big man,
Yeah.
or do I invest $6,000 and try this? So I charged my new credit card, Chase Sapphire, and that's how it started.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I started investing in myself, and I was like, now it's gonna be easy. It was not easy. This is more than just coaching. This is more than just building a fitness brand, fitness business. I had to learn how to make videos for myself, how to shoot content. I failed 3 times.
Yeah.
I was coaching gamers, failed. I was helping ex-athletic dads to make a quick buck, failed because they saw me as an Asian guy with long hair. I'm like, this guy's a chick.
Yeah.
What does he know about training and helping a dad?
Yeah.
Nothing. Failed.
Yeah.
So what happened was I was $20,000 in debt as a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
Spending money
Still
on
young. Yep.
ads, mentorships. I traveled to Australia to meet my mentor. I went to San Fran to meet my mentor
Yeah.
and try to pick his brain and figure out what do I need to do to improve to get here, right? So after that, $20,000, I had to quit. I'm like, I can't do this. This is too much money, right? I didn't even tell my parents I invested in money in this.
Yeah.
So I had to work at a pho restaurant as a waitress. Couldn't speak the language that well. I could only speak to my parents and my relatives on like a elder level. I couldn't speak to my peers. So I was there alone. Vietnamese, American.
Yeah.
Couldn't even speak to my coworkers for a whole year.
Yeah.
Barely anything. Pandemic hit.
Yeah.
I did DoorDash. I did everything I could to make it out, to pay off my debt. And I did within a year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I got the confidence again to work with one of my colleagues that was in the fitness business, that was in the mentorship that I was doing.
Yeah.
And he's like, I need someone to help me.
Okay.
So it's a skill set. I had to learn a skill set. And then from there, I stumbled upon, you know what, let me give coaching again. I'm actually going to coach Asian American guys now.
Okay.
Right. And that's how it all started.
That all clicked.
Yep.
So let me ask you this, because I've been listening very intently, right? Which was harder to do? That initial one where you failed school and you said, hey, no, I'm going to pursue my dreams. Or the one at the very end when, quote unquote, you hit rock bottom, 20,000 in debt, COVID hit, you have this huge chunk of change to pay back. What was harder, mindset wise?
$20,000.
$20,000 was harder.
Yeah, it was a lot harder.
So let's start with both, right? Because I feel a lot of our Asian brothers is stuck here. They haven't even gotten to where you are, because that whole experience built resilience, it built who you are, built character,
To make you stronger.
right? And it showed you, hey, I'm going to pursue me. I'm going to get my identity, right? But before we can even get to that, you had to break out the rut of the Asian stereotype, for lack of better words.
Yeah.
What were you able to do to break out of that?
Man. I had to find a new circle.
Okay.
Right? So if you're talking about just college and that's what you're talking about, right?
Right, yeah, because you're on this pursuit of
Yeah.
your parents' dream, right?
Right.
Your culture's dream. Be successful, be finance, right? And you're like, no,
Finding
something had to
yourself.
click in with you. Like, I want to be me. So what's the advice you can give to our Asian brothers out there who are stuck still in that
In that
first step?
Yep.
It's knowing what you want in life first and foremost. Do you have an answer for yourself outside your family, outside your friends? Like, what do you really want to do? You know, like everyone's like, hey, ask me, it's like, what do you do? Right? You go to a conference, like, what do you do? I'm like, man, can we not start with what do you do for work? It's like, I want to know you as a person, right?
Okay.
So before you even talk about, career, you gotta understand who is Tai Pham, who is Johnny Wynn, who are you at your core? What do you like to do?
Yep.
Do you know yourself, right? If you don't have that answer, you gotta start searching.
Yep.
And that's how you're gonna start breaking that mold, and that's where I found a lot of my success in terms of identity.
So you went to these kind of like these group seminars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Talk
a lot,
with other Asian men, or what type of men?
a lot of Asian
So
men
that were kind of searching for their identity as
Right,
well too.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
So can you speak on what some of these seminars are, so our viewers, like
Yeah.
our Asian brothers out there, might want to try to attend
so
some?
the first one that I went to was Asian Hustle Network.
Asian Hustle.
Yeah,
Network.
Asian Hustle
Network.
Network. Yes,
Okay.
yeah. So that was a great way to connect with a lot of men and women about their entrepreneurial
Yep.
journey. Some people were successful. Some of them are kind of down bad. They're trying to trying to get their bag up, right? But then it's all about identity. But I'm gonna go back actually, and it's all comes down to mentorship,
Yep.
right? The coaching was really big for me in terms of breaking the mold, because that was probably the first step in terms of knowing what am I capable of, right? It's not about how to run ads, how to run marketing, how to write emails, how to attract your clients. It's like, are you the person that people are gonna see on an ad and they want to be like you?
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
So you have to be that person. So let's say, for example, you want to make $10,000. Are you doing the things that you need to do to make $10,000?
Yep.
Are you doing everything that you need to do to become successful? Right. Do you know what that looks like?
Okay.
Do you know what kind of work that looks like?
Yep.
Then you can start doing the work.
Okay.
Right. So there's layers. I would say there's like categories of like where I've started growing. I've seen that growth. Right. So it's a lot. So like college, for example, was graduated, couldn't find a job. I'm like, all right, hit rock bottom, like a small rock bottom.
Yeah.
Right.
But you still got your degree to fall
exactly.
back on.
It's somewhat, my parents, like, when you get your degree, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. Let me do that. So
But you never got it though, because
To
they
use
pushed
it.
you down that road, but you didn't like to be a pharmacist.
yeah,
right?
I didn't want to do it.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
Yeah.
Besides the seminar, and I think that's kind of where you're kind of getting that, but getting the right mentorship, getting the right social circle, right? Was there anything specific that you learned about yourself or just about life that like made that switch flip for you, right? Because like I said, a lot of our Asian brothers are still stuck in the Asian matrix, right? They're still stuck in the hell. My family telling me to do this. I just got to stick with this and I'm good. and some of them don't get out of it until it's. I'm
little
not saying
late.
it's too
Not too
late,
late,
but it's like they're old as hell. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They're like 40-something-year-olds still. I hate to say it, still like living with the family, still doing the thing, and I get it. Sometimes that's the funny thing in the Asian culture. Sometimes we praise situations like that, right? It's like,
Yeah.
the Asian man, his son is doing well. He's taking care of his family. But let's be
No.
honest, that son isn't happy. He doesn't have his identity,
Yeah.
right? So how do we break that circle? How do we break that freaking?
It's honestly about self-awareness. That's the first step that you have to take accountable.
Yeah.
It's like, are you self-aware? Do you know yourself first and foremost to break out that mode, right? If you don't know that you're in the hole or you're not happy, you don't know how to navigate that,
Got
right?
it.
So for me personally, it was like I was always angry, especially in college. It's like I was always angry. It's toxic environment, right? Roommates were doing well.
Was it because you just weren't getting the finance success that?
No, I
or
wouldn't
the
say
school.
no.
Or
I
what
wouldn't say
else?
I wouldn't say success. It was just the peers around me didn't make me happy,
Yeah.
right? I was not happy for some reason. I was just in a negative mindset.
Okay.
I just didn't see myself as a confident person. If I revert back, I could see myself always wearing a hoodie. Perception is very important.
Yeah.
I will always see people perceiving me a certain way for some reason. I'm like, I look at old photos like, yeah, this is not a confident person, right?
What did you think they perceived you as?
I just like small, like unattractive, right? That's how I felt. I just had a feeling. I just didn't know what was that. I didn't realize that until later on. It's like, oh, well, look at the facts. I don't have many friends. I don't have a social group. My friends aren't doing the greatest.
Yeah.
It's like, what's wrong? That's when I started figuring out, let me dive in and find some other influencers or
Change ways.
change something in my life that will make me happy.
Would you honestly sit here, right, looking back at your old self,
Yeah.
and if you had to look at this
Tell your old
guy,
self.
right, and can you honestly say that what you thought of yourself was actually how you were? Meaning that you thought of yourself as unattractive, small, not a confident dude. Can you sit back now honestly and say that, yeah, your old self wasn't those things?
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say. I think you and I are very similar in this respect. We were able to recognize those things,
Exactly.
right? Find our awareness, like you were talking about. Flip that switch, right? What is one of the things that you were able to do to really get you to flip that switch?
Man, there's so many different levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very,
Okay.
very. It's hard to say. It came down to, let's say, making friends. I honestly just said, I want to make new friends.
Yep. Surrounding.
Very simple. Very simple. I want to make new friends. So what do? All right, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna just go to the house party. Then I realize I'm kind of weird. I'm kind of awkward. I'm not talking to anybody. I don't drink. Is this the right circle for me? Let me take a step back. Okay, maybe I realize I don't have that social skill.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to approach someone and say, hey, we've never met before. Or you tell someone to say, if you're dating, you just go up to a girl and say, hey, super random, but I think you're very pretty and I just want to introduce myself. If you've never done that, it scares the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, 100.
So if you go to a party and you're in a corner and you're just dripping on a red cup of water, you're like, man, this is not for me. This is not for me.
Yeah.
But then I realize, okay, I need to work on my social skills. So let me practice.
Okay.
I need to put in the reps, just like working out. You're not
Yeah.
going to get it the first time, but
You're gonna keep
if you
doing it.
got to keep doing it. It might take months and months and months, but you're going to see that. So that for me, it was just a simple, I want to make new friends. Very, very simple.
Okay.
But-
Would you say too that in a way too you were just saying, hey, be damned, I really don't care what my parents think. Be damned, I really don't care what my former life social circle thought.
Yeah.
Did you think that was a huge mindset part of what made you make that change? Did it take kind of that?
I didn't see it that way.
Okay.
I was like, I still want to get respect from my family. I
Yeah.
still want to get respect from everybody, and I still want to get validated. Right?
Okay.
Back
are you
then.
are you still then that way?
No, not
Okay.
these days. I'm like, I'm doing whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
If you want to follow me, great. Let's go back to the day ones. we don't really relate. I would have these conversations with them, and I would honestly, I could care less.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are great. I love you guys. I'm gonna love you guys from afar. This is a big, we can get into this, but I had a big problem with, I want you guys to be where I am, not financially, because you guys are doing good financially, but the image and the perception and what you guys want, you guys aren't having it.
All right, well, we'll get into that in a
Yeah,
second.
yeah.
Well, we have a comment, a live comment. So
Okay, here
go
it
ahead.
goes.
What is the comment? It's kind of. Yes.
Ooh, this is a good one because I'm an introvert.
Okay. Me too, by the way.
I'm
Find
opposite.
find a circle that does what you like to do. Find a circle that loves what you do. So if that's working out, start making friends at the gym. Very simple. If you go to the gym every single day as an introvert, you're gonna see the same people at the same time, right?
Yep.
So why not make friends?
Yep.
Very simple. You can say, "Hey, super random. I just want to say you're killing it. I've been seeing you here at the gym all the time. I just want to give you a fist bump and then walk away. Nothing. No pressure, right?
Yeah.
But before that, it all comes down to the mindset.
Yep.
Do you want to make friends? What's stopping you from making friends? Is it because you're an introvert? If you tell yourself you're an introvert, you're gonna be introverted, right? Like, I was an introvert. I'm like, I want to make friends, so I'm gonna become outgoing. You guys tell yourself that you're outgoing, that you're gonna be this guy, you're gonna be this person. You want people to look at you this way. This is probably gonna be bad. Fake it until you make it, right?
And you know, the best person to, if you're at the gym, you know, because I'm extrovert, I'm different. So I've always been an extrovert, but
Yeah.
you know, like if you're walking in the gym, right? First person you see is the front desk. Check in.
Yeah.
Say, hey, hi, Lindsay, how's it going? Da da da. Once you say, you know, once you do that, then Lindsay's like, hey, how's it going? You know, Ty, how are you doing today? You know, once you start with that, then she later says, hey, this is our regular customer. Then they start saying to their next coworker, and then you'll be like, hey, what do you think if I do this? What do you think? You know,
It's
how
baby
should I?
steps,
Yeah,
right?
just little baby steps, one thing
Yeah.
at a time, and she'll introduce you to another, another person there. And
One thing that I will say that has helped me tremendously as an introvert, as yourself too, use your strengths, because one thing an introvert inherently has is, because you keep to yourself, you're good at what you do. There's something about you as being an introvert that makes you kind of like self-absorbed with something that you like. For me, it was bodybuilding, right? That guy that just went to the gym every day, didn't speak to anybody, and just focus on that only, right? A lot of introverts are like that, right? You have some type of passion or some type of thing. You're not good at maybe conveying that to other people or being relatable to other people, but you excel in this one thing. Now, that commenter, whoever said that, if you don't excel in anything, then unfortunately, excel at something.
Yeah.
Find something that you like and be good at that.
Yep.
Because what that leads to is, once you excel at it, there's no way in hell that you won't be noticed.
Yes.
Someone's gonna notice. And then once again too, you have the confidence now, because you're good at it, to go into the social circles that you're talking about, like like-minded, right? If you're good at the gym and you're getting results, and everyone else at the gym sees you every day, it's a lot easier to go talk to those people, right? So that's the one thing is, as a guy, if you're super introverted, excel at something. Don't be that lazy bum just sitting in, the basement playing video games all day. I mean, unless video games is the thing you're good at, right? If that's what the one thing you're working on. But let's be honest. I mean, video games don't really get you to, unfortunately, really talk to other people, right? So you need to get something that's outside of that realm.
Yeah.
And then once you get good at it, you'll build the confidence with that. And now, this is the other thing too that you notice, right? People talk easily about things that they're interested in, and things that they're good at.
Yep.
Right? So if you're good at something, it's super easy to hold a conversation with somebody. And this is the other thing too. You appear confident because you know your subject.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's what I would say is, just get good at something.
Yeah.
Start with that.
Yeah. It's all about practice. You
Yep.
gotta put in the reps.
Practice gets you better.
Okay. So getting back to it, because I think you're giving our Asian brothers some really good advice, because I think a lot of our Asian brothers kind of stuck in this thing. So you said social circles, go into groups, Asian Hustle Network, right? Guys, so find some local community networks around you to go. have this mindset of wanting to go do it, right?
Yep.
Taking that risk, right? Sometimes, unfortunately, that is a low time, right? Right? Sometimes that's failing at school. Sometimes that's failing at a business, but taking that risk, right? What would you say, right? It would be because we talked about how you broke out of that first wall, right? Of trying to get away from what your family wanted you to do, right? How were you able to kind of completely remove yourself? Because now you said, hey, I'm a free man. I do what I want to do, right? How did you get to that point?
Ooh, it's actually quite recent.
Okay.
So I joined a company called The Standard.
Okay.
So The Standard is a man of excellence,
Yep.
right? And we talked about this on the live
town.
show, and we're all focused on the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, the social as well, and the financial,
Okay.
right? So we just added the social, to be honest,
Okay.
not too recently, and that sort of aspect really helped me see what success looks like. Right, and it all comes down to exposure.
Is this all different ethnicities
All-
too?
yeah.
Yeah. So when I first joined, I was probably like one of the only Asian guys.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, damn, I've never been around other black
Other-
guys.
yeah.
I'm kind of scared.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard stories.
Yeah.
You know, my friend, I never grew up around them. Right. But then, started being around them, listening
Yep.
to podcasts. I'm like, okay, we
Yeah.
got a lot of things in common. And one of my best friends,
Yeah.
he's a black guy.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, damn, we're like
Yeah.
the same. We're the same. We just have different skin
Yeah.
tones, right?
Yeah.
That was this is like a year ago, year and a
Okay.
half ago. And that has changed the way I see myself, the way I move, and the way that I interact.
Yeah.
We can go into different layers from there.
Yeah.
But it comes down to exposure. Right? And we talked about this before. It's like if you live in a neighborhood in the hood all your life, that's all you know.
Yep.
But then you're exposed to, you're invited to a penthouse party. Beautiful women, right? Everyone's dressed up. And you come in, you're dressed nice, but you don't fit in. That's how I felt. I was like, everyone's here is dressed nice, beautiful women,
Different vibe.
different vibe. I was like, do I even fit here?
Yep.
Should I even be here?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it started working. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I realize I can talk to people. I can talk all the guys, but I can't even approach a woman that I'm just like want to make friends platonically. I can't even do that. So what I did was I got my own mentor.
Okay.
I got a dating coach essentially.
Okay.
I did it.
What ethnicity was your dating coach out of
Asian.
curiosity? Asian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, the first guy that I went to, he was from a podcast I watched. He was Mexican,
Okay.
but he was like a pickup artist. I'm like, it didn't fit.
didn't-
It didn't fit. So then I found someone on TikTok, Asian brother, very logical, right? Very like IT,
Savvy.
but he picks up girls. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna learn from him.
Okay.
Very natural. I'm like, I can do this. Take my own twist on it. Didn't feel like a pickup artistry thing, and pretty successful at it.
What was the one huge thing between the PUA versus this more dating coach that you vibed with better? What was the huge difference compared to the two?
Conversations were different.
Yeah.
It was not about expectations of picking up a girl. It was just, can I make a friend? And can you give them value versus taking value away and showing value to them? It's like you have, I don't know, like perceived value or like, I don't know the term because I don't remember anymore, but like you want to show them that you are a high value man versus I go to a different route. I'm a little bit more vulnerable. And I
Yeah.
break that wall down. So if you want to interact with me, great. If you don't, that's cool.
Yeah.
I had built that mindset about myself. Like I'm if you leave, then
Okay, so the PUA was focused just really on like, hey, presenting your
Yourself.
values.
yeah, line. Here's a line. Here's a line that works,
Yeah.
and then go into a script kind of thing and describe who you are and why you're interesting,
Yeah.
and then flow from there. It felt fake.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with this other guy, it's very, very natural. I'm like, it's either straightforward or you have a pickup line, not a pickup line, but like an opening line, and you kind of go into a tangent, describing yourself, being vulnerable. And honestly, that's how I made a lot of my friends, how I'm so able to socialize. It's not about
Yep.
just girls, but you can talk to anybody.
Anyone, yeah.
Very easy. Anybody.
Yep. Yep.
what do you think was the primary, like, I guess, strategy in that regard? Like, what did that using that strategy from the dating coach that finally gave you results? What was the one thing that presented yourself that I think made you appealing to not only getting more friends,
Stand
but to
out.
the opposite sex? What do you think that approach gave you?
Listening. I was a better listener.
Ah, so you opened the doors for them to respond.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a better listener, and I was able to. I'm also a salesperson, so
Yeah.
I can weave my way in to make tangents or like comments, and then go into a different conversation that's not boring, right? You usually go up to anybody and you talk about your job, where you live. I'm like, that's boring, right? I'm gonna give you a different perspective. Like the common thing I always say is like, so let's take money aside. Money aside, what would you like to be doing for the rest of your life? Now it opens a lot of doors
Yeah.
for different conversations. That's very interesting. Versus I do IT. Oh, that's
Yeah.
come on now, right? It's very boring. It's not nothing about your character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can dive deeper into that, and you can talk. I can talk about. Yeah, so I'm an online coach for Asian American guys because you know I wasn't the most confident guy, right? I was actually very very insecure, and that's like, oh wow, now the wall is broken because I just opened myself up to
Up to
like
someone.
any criticism. You can use that and attack me, or he's like, wow, that's very brave of you to talk about that. You know, I used to be X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom. You get so many things. can be in
You
common.
made yourself vulnerable, so you didn't seem like, hey, I'm giving you something personal about myself,
Yeah.
and so they were able to open a little bit more
Exactly.
to you. Has that worked with women?
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
And different ethnicities too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so you've been able to find out more about
Right.
them too.
Yeah.
Through
so,
that way.
So funny story is
Yeah.
I went to Atlanta for a event.
Yeah.
Everybody was black.
Yeah.
Black women. I'm like, I'm not attracted to black women, but let me practice.
Yeah.
Right. Let me put myself out there. And I did.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, it's all practice.
Yeah.
All reps. You got to do it. You're in, like, you said you want to be this guy. And then there's 30 guys looking at you. Are you doing it?
Yeah.
So you got to do it.
So I was gonna ask the next question, right? So what were I asked originally, what were the two guys different?
Yeah.
How are they the same?
Ooh.
Yeah, what did they teach you that
Wow.
was very similar?
I think that just the framework was very similar. Opening line, you know, transition, close. That's pretty much the framework was
Okay.
very similar. Like every POA guy kind of follows the same framework. It's just the approach is different,
Approach is
right?
different, yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much the only similarity they had.
How about on what you just touched upon recently? Leads.
Yeah.
What was their viewpoint on leads?
Yeah, it's a numbers game.
Numbers game,
You
right?
It's
Yeah.
a number game. Yeah, unfortunately, like,
Keep going.
like for me before, it was like, I'm gonna find the one. The next person I talk to is gonna be the one. That's the pressure
Yeah.
that you put yourself on. And now I'm like,
Okay.
all right,
Now
well,
it's natural.
it's natural. It's like, I'm gonna get rejected. Well, you just lost out on a perfect guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'm on the next one.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, just keep
Yeah.
going.
Keep going. Okay, so I wanted to touch on thank you because that's the thing, guys. It is about just leads. It's like
Yeah.
sales, right? And you're great at sales because I think a lot of us, our Asian brothers, we're set on this one.
Yeah.
We have this mindset
don't
that's
break it.
on this one. I know because, guys, I had the same mindset as well too. We're all raised to have this mindset of just finding the one. Can you touch upon that a little bit? How you were able to break that? Besides maybe this dating coach,
Yeah.
PUA.
Ooh, how I broke that.
Yeah, because that's the thing that all Asian
Yeah.
brothers, I think, a lot of us share.
Man, this is a big one because it happened
Yeah.
recently.
Okay.
You know, I'll go back even like 9 years ago, right? Second relationship. Oh, this is gonna be the one. She's perfect, and then come to find out, nah, it was just the expectation
You want.
of the relationship that I wanted, right?
Yeah.
She was not it,
Yeah.
right? As you grow, and when you're young, you literally don't know what you want.
Yeah.
You literally don't know who will be a great partner for you. It's just like dopamine. It's just a rush, right? So let's fast forward to the recent relationship that I had. It was only like a month, honestly, but she was honestly very, very ideal, right? Ideal, great personality, great energy. The biggest turn on was she liked me a lot.
Yeah.
and we were doing long distance. She was all the way in Texas.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had a friend here who introduced us. Like, yeah, I'm just going on FaceTime. I'm like, damn,
Okay.
never felt this way about someone because they like me a lot.
Yeah.
But the family dynamic, good mom, good dad,
Yeah.
good family dynamic, had a good paying job, but she was very talkative, high energy, likes to do sports, so many things in common. I could
Yeah.
go on and on, and we're
about.
like very similar.
Okay.
No, didn't seem like any issue.
Okay.
Right. But you know, when I went to meet her in person,
Mm-hmm.
right, this is when we were official for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and I put too much pressure on her, right?
Oh.
Then things like, oh wow, this guy's real. Even though he's very successful, he looks great.
So was she not traditional in that sense then?
She was very traditional. She's like, hey, I want to do the traditional women. I'm like, damn.
Okay.
We had a playing card.
Was she young, old?
She was she was young, 26.
Okay,
26.
still
Yeah,
young,
yeah.
oh.
But like she like Texas, like,
But maybe she's not ready to.
well,
Envision that,
I'll get
maybe.
into
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Is
go ahead.
that she's very traditional. I'm like, wow. She didn't talk back to me. Didn't do like. I didn't have to go through hoops. Like last time we talked on the live stream, we were talking about going through hoops and trying to prove ourselves to be. I didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
She just looked at me and was like, why is he even dating me?
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm so cool, cool lifestyle, great job, great family. I mean, she made jokes with us. Like, it's kind of funny because now, like, my family's kind of toxic, but
Yeah.
I love your family. It
Yeah.
sounds good. You seem like the perfect guy. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
every
how was
idea.
her family toxic though?
Um,
What ethnicity too, by the
Vietnamese.
way? Vietnamese.
Vietnamese.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, yeah. Oh, Vietnamese and then white. But the
Yeah.
white spoke Vietnamese.
Oh, wow.
Funny enough, right? Yeah,
Interesting.
she was.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, he was.
Mom's side or dad's side? Oh, dad's side.
Dad's side.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nice.
But like very traditional. Very traditional. Just not as friendly as my family. Like
Yeah.
we're very close, right?
Yeah.
She's very close with her as well, but it wasn't that intent. And so fast forward, you know, she saw me in person. Great energy, but I think we also put a pressure on ourselves where
Yeah.
we had these expectations of, okay, I like the idea of the relationship, but now there's some trauma coming up. I'm not gonna go into details. I want to
Yeah.
share,
Yeah, yeah.
but she was dealing with some trauma,
Oh.
right? Some of her past relationship,
Okay.
and then it sparked. Like, hey, you know what? I don't think I'm ready for this. And the first thing that we talked
She
about,
said that, or you said?
she said that.
Yeah.
I think I need to do some healing. I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, shit. Okay.
Wow.
Wow, that's very brave of you, right? Because I put this pressure of hers, like, we're gonna meet my friends, we're gonna go to the social party,
Yeah.
we're gonna have a good time. I put that pressure on her versus not being able to follow her pace as well,
Sure.
and be able to, you know, dictate where we're gonna go,
Go slow.
right? Either go slow, and this is a lot of advice from mentors and people who are in relationships that have a
Yeah.
family already,
Yeah.
which is great. Love that. So there's nothing that had to do with her
Yeah.
or me as in the whole relationship, but she just had to do some healing. And I was so heartbroken. Like
Yeah.
only 2 or 3 weeks, you know, you have your day twos and then you can click. Same thing with this girl.
Okay.
And I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna, you know, you're in that.
Would you
mindset.
go back though? I mean, would you guys
Yeah,
try to
I
like?
was
She's
gonna
saying she's like having the time
I
to
was gonna ask
heal.
that.
Would you guys reconnect because she's got that time? Because like you said, she was like, you know, everything. She's,
Yeah.
you know, boom,
I
boom,
would. I would give
sporty,
that.
whatever
I'll
else.
I'll have the door open for her.
Yeah, that's
But
what
I'm
I'm
not gonna wait. I told her right out the bat. I was like, I'm not waiting for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my
Good,
thing.
good.
You know, I
Yeah,
gotta
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah. You're a man. You got to move on.
Yeah,
Man. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I had to move on and deal with that, right? But emotionally, it was very hard for me because, like, damn.
Yeah.
Before, because we got about 15, 20 minutes
Sure.
left,
That
and I
way.
want you to answer some really
Sure,
good
sure,
questions,
sure, sure.
Barbara. But before we get into the last kind of topics, what do you think was one red flag that you saw from her? Just advice to my Asian brothers that have this mindset, right? You found this perfect woman. She seems like she's the one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not like a newbie, and
Yeah.
and so a lot of newbie Asian guys, let's say, that doesn't have a whole lot of sexual experience,
Or
a whole lot of
experience.
relationship
Yeah,
experience
yeah.
in general, right? They're so quick to like
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
commit
yeah.
to that
Yeah.
first one, right? So even someone like yourself that's been
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
game and and had experience, what was one of the red flags that you can tell our Asian brothers?
Man, it was a lot about her ex. She mentioned a lot, even the bad, right? Like she was like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's
You
not that
can't.
great. I'm like, damn, there's
Yeah.
a lot of talk about him. I'm like, hey, cool. I think she's moved on from it.
Yeah.
I think she's good.
Ethnicity? What was his ethnicity?
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese.
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. She's like into Asian
Okay.
guys. I'm like, cool. I think
Okay.
she's good. But then I'm
Yeah.
like, I got next time I gotta be careful because you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. You know, I don't know what she's doing right now.
Yeah.
But in my head, it's like, man, if you're talking about your ex
Too
quite
often,
a bit,
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, that's
even
a
in
big-
even in a bad
Yeah.
manner or like in a cordial manner, it's like, man, can we like
Yeah.
Move on.
that's a red flag in my head, you know.
Yeah. No, that's 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is.
yeah. And to go on to your point with leads, right? Like I've gone on multiple dates afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go on dates.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I haven't found someone that sparked my interest, even though they're
Not yet.
like 10 out of 10 beautiful. I'm like, I show my friends like, yo, I just went on a date
Yeah.
with this girl before I went to Europe.
Yeah.
She's great, but the energy is not there. So so for the guys as well, it's like it's not about the looks. It's about the personality, right? As much as we hate to say it,
Yeah.
but the personality, but it's also the energy that they bring to you, right? Are you going through those hoops and trying to prove yourself, right? At this point, I'm like, you can either come in my life and
don't.
support me, or you can move on. I don't need that. I don't need that energy.
And for the Asian brothers out there, as you can see, if someone keeps on bringing up their past and their ex and stuff, that's
Yeah.
a
If
big
you're still
red
dealing with
flag.
trauma,
Yeah.
you don't want to be having to deal
Because
with
then
that
you're
trauma.
gonna have to use that.
Yeah.
Then it's gonna be drama.
We
for
got one
you.
comment.
Oh, nice. We have another comment.
Let's
All
go.
right. What do
Here
we got?
go.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Who said that? D'Angelo. Okay,
D'Angelo.
okay.
Nice.
Hey, okay.
Is
What's
that
up, bro?
D-Lo? Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up, brother?
Thanks, D-Lo. Okay, so now kind of a round of questions then.
Yeah.
And it's going to be touching on all these
Sure.
things that Asian men have issues with and hoping you can give them some answers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So let's talk about height first, right? Asian men stereotypically have low height.
Yeah.
How, as an Asian man, how do we deal with the height issue?
You can't change it.
Yes,
You can't,
yes.
you can't
So
change
what-
it.
what-
I'm like, bro, you can't. Why worry about it?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm 5'5", okay? I'm 5'5". Like, there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
you can
But
build your
but
physique.
you can change it for your physique,
Your
but you can
look.
have an attitude of a
Yeah.
6-foot guy,
Yeah.
Okay.
right?
Yeah. So attitude, physique,
Yeah.
those are the two things you
Yeah.
would say touch on
Exactly.
first.
So and funny thing is, so I do a lot of photo shoots with one of my good friends here in Seattle. His name's Seth.
Yeah.
And every time we take a photo, I look different. Not the suits. It's
No.
not the way I look.
Yeah.
It's the way my eyes are and my
Yeah.
facial expression. Like, this guy's the fucking guy.
Yeah.
Body language.
Yeah.
Modeling within
Yeah.
1 month, 3 months, 6 months, this guy's different. Somehow it's like, damn, this guy's a killer.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter about height.
No.
And the photos help a lot too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
They know how to take the angles. Like, damn, this guy looks tall.
You're like, wait a minute, is that me? Hold on.
yeah, it's like, damn, you know. So it's a good
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah, thank you. Guys, we get
And
it.
that
There's
works.
going to be women out there that's just going to 100% disqualify you because of the height. There's going to be women out there.
Yep.
But I think a majority of them, they want to see the confidence, like you were talking about, the physique and the body language. How do you carry
Yep.
yourself? Okay, so next thing, right? All bad negative stereotypes, right? How do you deal with the negative stereotype of obviously just not being outgoing, not being the man, right?
Yeah. The great thing about it is most Asian guys aren't outgoing or extroverted. So you have the advantage actually. You're the underdog. How many guys do you know that are approaching women that look like me or look like you? Not many. Think about all the guys in general. They don't even go up to the women. So if you go up and do it,
Yep.
damn, you feel great. Even though you get rejected, you feel
Okay.
amazing. Damn, I did that.
Yeah.
Right? So it all comes down to, you know, if you saw someone do that, it's like, damn, you'd be impressed, right? You probably in your head's like, damn, that's kind of cringe.
Yeah.
But that's an insecurity about yourself, right?
What would you recommend to our Asian brothers to maybe preemptively do before they go on their first approach, on their first hot, cold, cold approach?
You gotta warm up. You gotta
Okay.
warm up. You gotta like working out. You gotta warm up. Go to a coffee shop. You know, talk to the cashier.
Yep.
Ask them how they're doing. How's their day? You know, something very basic. Or you even get on a phone call with someone. Talk to your, you know, my brother or my dad or mom, and just get the juices flowing. Because then you're cold, right? Once you warm up, now you can start talking, and you're not gonna have you're not gonna stumble around your words. You're not stutter. Because I had a huge stuttering issue as well, and I spoke too fast.
Yeah.
And I started realizing, okay, I need to slow down my speech. I gotta change up the way I say things and how I approach things, and breathe.
Yeah.
Breathe. So you gotta take your time. You got to warm up. And then
So 3 things in place. What would you say to our Asian brothers as the 3 things you kind of want to have in place before
you talk to someone.
approaching a woman specifically?
Okay.
Hey, we're talking about women, right? Because
Yeah.
our Asian brothers, come on, we we're the lowest swiped on dating apps,
Their
right?
ears,
We-
ears
yeah,
and eyes
everyone's-
are at you
everyone's
right now,
listening
Ty.
right now.
Like,
What do
here,
you-
come on, I want to get the
Yeah.
I want to get the women.
one is you have to know that there's no close at the end of the day, right? Do not expect to get a number. Do not expect to get an IG. Just have a normal conversation with someone. That, no expectations.
Yeah.
Don't do it for the number, because if you focus on the number, all you're gonna do is like, hey, I think you're beautiful. Can I get your number? You're gonna get blown off.
No.
Unless you're super attractive, but that's very rare,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you have to expect
Yeah.
a no response. You have a no response, no expectations. That's number 1. Number 2 is know that you're the guy. You have to know that you are a confident guy. And if she doesn't give you her number or IG, it's her loss. Move on. Like there's nothing else, because you have a cool life. You have to, before we even approach someone, you have to have a cool life, cool lifestyle, do something interesting. Doesn't mean you have a Lambo, you have a yacht, whatever it may be, but you have a cool life. And like, yeah, I'm chilling. I don't need a girl. So that's number 2, right?
Okay.
And then last one is it's all about the reps, right? It's all about a numbers game, right?
What does the reps give you? What do you think the reps give you?
It gives you self-awareness of
Okay.
like what you need to work on. The biggest thing I see is you're doing something and it's not giving you results, but you still keep doing it.
Yep.
It's like you got to change up something. There's a reason why you're not getting results, right? If you have a course that's giving you the exact program, but you need to change a variable, that's what you need to do,
Yep.
right? One more thing is a bonus tip is
Nice.
what's it called? You need to have awareness in the moment, right? So let's say, for example, your goal is to approach 5 girls, right? You go to the mall, you're dressed nice. If you stumble with your words with the first approach, I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, I'm not gonna do that again. So let me start warming up again. Okay, number 2. Oh, I kind of went for the clothes too quickly. Okay, the girl didn't really react the right way.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Third girl, I'm gonna talk to someone different. Okay, well, I need to build some momentum here. All right, so now you go from opening line, transition. Say, hey, so let's talk about, like, what if you don't have money right now, or let's say money aside, what would you like to be doing, right? And then, okay, cool. 2, 3 questions, right? And another tip is, if she's asking you a question after the 3rd or 4th time that you ask, then she might be interested. But if you keep asking questions, she's not reciprocating anything, move on.
One-line answers.
Yeah. And they understand when to move on.
Yeah.
Right.
Body language speaks pretty well
Yeah.
on women too. That's the
Yeah.
other thing, guys.
They don't hide it.
Learn to read body language as
Yeah.
a guy.
Yeah.
We're pretty bad at that sometimes,
Yeah.
right?
Their
Guys
eyes-
in general.
Guys
yeah.
in general, we're pretty bad at learning.
Yeah.
Like if a girl's smiling at you,
Yeah.
she has kind of some interest, right?
And her eye contact is with you
Yeah.
more than 5 seconds. That means she's interested. If
Yeah.
she's like wandering off and her,
Yeah, if she's kind of blowing you
we
off,
don't hide things. Women, we do not hide our body language. Trust me. If they're interested in you, trust me. Within 5 to 10 seconds, if they're still looking at you, laughing and giggling with you, that means they're showing some signs of interest. But once they turn away and move on, or they're acting a little awkward, you're just giving in within, like, say, less than 3 seconds, or 4, no eye contact. She's just fiddling.
Yeah,
She's
like
looking
this.
down. That means there is no interest. Move on.
accept the loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Move on.
Exactly.
Go to the next one.
I
That's
actually have
from a
another.
woman's advice.
I actually have another 20 minutes. We can
Oh,
keep going.
so-
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah,
you
yeah.
wanna make
Okay.
sure.
Yeah,
Or
we're
you're
good.
not-
We're good.
Okay, so the 3 things you said, no expectations.
Yeah.
I think that's great, guys.
Right.
Don't set yourself up for failure
No,
by having an
no.
expectation.
Right,
But
right.
don't put that undue pressure on you
No.
too,
No,
right?
No, no,
Right,
don't
right,
do that. Don't
right.
do that. Number 2 is
Great
see
advice.
yourself as a confident guy,
Yeah.
as that guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
As know that if she walks away, it's her loss.
Yeah. But also, you said one thing really realistic, which is be
like
that guy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
Work on yourself to be that guy. dress nice,
Yeah.
get yourself in shape, right? Have the Riz, right?
Yeah.
Do your hair, brush your teeth,
Right.
right?
Mindset.
Be that guy.
Mindset.
You can't show up looking like a bum and then
No.
like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm the
No.
freaking man,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Like, dress the
Mindset.
part, act the part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then third, repetitions. I 100%
I
agree
love
with you,
that.
right? And the other thing, what do you think? I'll say it if maybe if you don't say it, but besides getting that, way questions and stuff like that, what's one of the things that you think repetitions really build?
Honestly, it builds confidence,
Okay,
right?
awesome.
Especially
that.
for Seattle. Man, Seattle is probably the toughest city to go.
Very
dating.
cliquish here.
Oh, man,
Very
it's
cliquish.
tough.
Yeah.
So I'm playing dating on hard mode.
Yeah.
Really,
as an
really-
Asian man
as an
too.
A-
Yeah.
as
Asian
an
man in certain communities like this where it's super cliquish, it's super hard mode right now.
Man, it is hard mode, right? But going through the rejection, it builds something in you.
Not that I know, by the way. I
Well,
just want
you
to throw it
know.
out there. Not that I know, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm looking at you, mister.
so that's what it does is it builds confidence, right?
Yeah.
And getting back up and keep going and going and going. Yeah, that's the name of the game.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with
so-
him.
I was gonna say one thing for me when I was still in the game, and but you tell me if it's
Long
outdated
time
information,
ago.
right? But one thing the repetitions give you is you get to figure out what your game plan is, what your strategy is, because everyone has a different strategy. Some guys can pull off, "Hey, I'm that handsome, tall. I just come in, show myself who I am."
Yeah.
Other guys are maybe the funny guys, right? If you're that guy that has to break the ice by being funny, telling good jokes, maybe making fun of yourself, right? I have a really good friend who's like that guy, right? Like he's not bad looking, but he knows how to break the mold, get the girls to laugh,
Break the
gets
ice.
them to open up, right?
So good.
My approach has always been straightforward. Like I am who I am. I dress nice. I am who I am. I'm confident. I say what I want.
Take it or leave it.
And take it or leave it. You reject me,
Yeah.
whatever. So my point is, throughout the repetitions, learn what works for you,
Yep.
right? And then also just learning to be yourself, finding your identity, because not sometimes your identity doesn't work with every woman.
Yeah.
That's the 100% truth.
right.
Someone that likes a funny dude is not gonna like me because I'm not super funny,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But someone that wants a more confident, tell people what it is, that's the person that's gonna like
Right.
me. So you got to find where you fit in, right?
For me, it's being vulnerable. It's very easy for me to be very vulnerable and open the doors
Yeah.
for any conversation, right? And
Yeah.
just breaks down the wall. That's my strategy.
Yeah.
It's been the easiest for me because I can talk about it all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes down to any type of rabbit hole. You know, like you said, it's like you have the guy who's funny,
Yep.
the guy who's already tall, and it just has game. I'm like, how do you do it?
Hey, so real quick, since you have a little bit of time, because I feel like that's like kind of like the three archetypes, right?
Yeah.
Funny guy, vulnerable guy, or at least maybe a little bit more sensitive,
Yeah.
be more emotionally aware, right? That's what, emotionally intelligent,
Yeah.
and then super confident guy, right?
Yeah.
Just straight to the balls. What do you feel like in your
Feel.
experience? Like, what do you see that most Asian men can maybe relate to, can maybe pull off better?
That's hard to say because I don't have that experience with guys that are actually going through the dating process, right? So most of the conversations I have is it's hard to say.
To build.
Yeah, so I haven't had those conversations.
So
with
is
other
most of
men.
your clients kind of pre that right now? They're trying to get
Yeah,
themselves
yeah,
up to
yeah.
that point.
So I always preface this as I'm not the guy who's going to be helping you with dating, right? I'm helping you become the guy that you want to be,
Yep.
so that women are more attracted to you, right?
To build that confidence.
Yeah, you gotta be confident. Like if you love yourself, that's all you need.
Yeah, you're getting them to that point.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're like step 1, 2.
Yeah, step one, and then if you want to go advanced and you want to see
Yep.
all the other stuff, I can share that with you.
You
but,
gotta go through
but I
steps.
preface it, I'm not a dating coach.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not that person, but I can help you get there. I would say I'm the social guy now. I can help you with your social
Yep.
skills because I have the receipts.
Yeah.
I can prove it.
Yeah.
I have the videos. I have there's so many resources I can share with these guys and
Yeah.
say, hey, I've done it.
Yeah.
I've been there. I have the photos. Here's the difference
been-
between 1
yeah.
year to 2 years. The guys can vouch for me.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious because, obviously, guys, stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason, right? And as a lot as like our Asian brothers, we have obviously a stereotype about how we are, how we act, right? So I was just curious on which kind of approach maybe would be kind of the best approach. I personally think, if I had to guess, I think maybe the funny approach, or maybe like the more emotionally intelligent approach might work better for our Asian brothers. What do you think? What do you think,
I think from my dating coach, you have to be logical, right? Some guys are logical. That's how they are, right?
Yeah.
They're just type A type of person, right? And they need a framework.
Yeah.
But then you also have to figure out, okay, what is your lane? Like you mentioned, like what is your lane? You don't have to be funny. Like if you're not a funny guy, don't be funny.
Yeah.
Right. If you're not a vulnerable guy, don't be vulnerable. But you gotta be a little. You gotta have a little bit of interest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't just be. And I hate to see this on my Instagram. It's like Asian men are born kings. I'm like, bro, no, we're not born kings.
No.
You gotta shape yourself to be a
Yeah.
king. So
Yeah.
you have to shape yourself to be that guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. As well as being congruent with who you are.
Yeah.
Right. I always preface this is you gotta love yourself first.
Yep.
And understand that you have to have an unshakable identity about yourself.
Yeah.
Right. This is beyond dating, beyond because this is gonna carry to everything in life.
Yeah.
Is that if you have an unshakable identity, nothing can break you. Right. I had a comment where one of my good friends visited him. It's like, so you become this guy. You're wearing a lot of suits. Do you feel fake? I'm like, this is me.
Yeah.
This is me. This is who I am.
Yes.
Right? I'm not faking it.
No.
Correct.
Like I'm having these real conversations with these men and women
Yeah.
that is genuine.
And this is from your level 1 friends?
Yeah.
Have you seen that kind of a common
And they
thing?
change.
yeah.
No?
Okay.
100%.
I was going to say that because I've seen that as well too, right?
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Yeah.
they see you as this person from middle school,
Yeah.
Yeah.
from high school, and you've changed. Right?
Yeah.
And
And they think you're putting on a caricature,
But they
right?
haven't changed.
Yeah.
That's why
I'm
they
like-
haven't moved on.
Exactly. And like, like respectfully, he great. He's in a
Yeah.
relationship, whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want your life,
Yeah.
right? So don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
I know who
Yeah.
I am,
Yep.
and if I falter, that's on me, right? I'm not gonna feel. I can't sleep at night
Yeah.
when I'm not who I am.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just living a lie at that point,
Yeah.
right? So, like I said, have an unshakable identity about yourself and who you want to be, and be congruent, right?
Yeah.
And then also have accountability partners
For what
and
you-
friends and
yep.
circles that keep you accountable.
Yeah.
And then also they are there to validate who you are. It's like if they tell you you're that guy, you start to believe it. It's like, oh, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of my friends in the community like, you're that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the guy.
Yeah, hey, just real quick, because I know you're pressed for time, right?
No, you're good. Yeah.
You
so
feel
hey,
good
I
when you
just,
discover
just
yourself.
guys, our Asian brothers, let's not self-hate each other this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Moving forward, let's all push
Support
each
one
other up.
another.
Whether that's us trying to get better, maybe what you feel is maybe not the traditional way, but I'm telling you guys, the traditional way is not the answer, right? We're trying to break these things. That's for a reason, right? Because we're not getting the results that we want. So yeah, let's push and elevate our brothers up, right?
Uplift one
Yeah.
another.
Right.
You know, you see
You know,
like another like Asian person being successful or their business or whatever, support them.
yeah.
Don't
You don't
don't
have to
shame them,
go.
don't put down
I've
or
said this
whatever
before.
else.
You don't have to go shop at their
No.
place, but
But
give them a good
reference,
recommendation,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Right?
Come on.
Like, dude, if you know they're doing something good and they're doing a good service or a good product,
Yeah.
Use
just
it.
recommend them. Then you don't gotta go to their
Yeah.
shop. You don't gotta
Yeah.
buy their stuff. But hey, if they're doing a good thing, let's help each other out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think the last thing I want to say as well is because I talked about circles, day ones, day twos, and I learned this year, beginning of the year, is if you want to grow, if you want to be successful, if you want to branch out, because
Yep.
the things I'm doing, they're not normal,
Yeah.
right? Like, and I'll give some context as well. It's like I'm an introvert. Anybody who's an introvert, you know that you're not the type of partying guy. You're not going
Yeah.
out to drink. You're not getting girls. Now I'm hosting events
Yeah.
in Seattle,
There you go.
inviting ladies
There you
from
go.
the host. You'll see the video. It's gonna come out. We have content coming
Yeah.
out,
Nice.
and now people are interested. Like, damn, this is.
Yeah.
I got invited to go out to a Ascend Steakhouse. and
yeah,
eat
yeah,
sushi.
yeah.
You know, I got invited. I'm like, damn. So you get opportunities. You get those momentums, and you see the attraction levels. Like, hey, I'm interested in joining your event. I wanna
Doors
attend.
open.
Doors open. Right. social
Yeah.
circles or get bigger.
Yeah.
You get connected with other women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get connected with other of their friends.
Yeah.
Right. So
Leads.
you got
Leads.
leads,
Talking
right?
about
Right.
leads,
But
yeah.
like besides leads, like you have friends,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? You have your cool
Well,
life.
opportunity for
Opportunity-
friends,
yeah,
opportunity
yeah,
for
everything.
business, opportunity for women.
Exactly.
All leads.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just all the
leads.
above.
Yeah. All,
Mhm.
all opportunities. So, if you told me I was doing this a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
I think
You
you're
would-
lying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, wow. I'm actually doing because I see it happen. I've been exposed to it. Right. Now when I was before this, maybe 2 years ago, struggling to get matches on
Yeah.
Hinge.
Yeah.
got myself a photographer.
Yeah.
Took amazing photos.
Yeah.
One photo blew up, helped me get more matches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, okay, cool. Now I'm okay, getting matches. Can I get on the dates? Okay,
Yeah.
get on dates. Okay, cool. All right, they're not really going anywhere. I'm seeing success in terms of getting on these dates,
Yeah.
going on coffee dates, going out on walks, but they're not interested to me. They're not. I don't find them interesting. Okay, cool. Now I gotta keep searching,
Yep.
keep going the numbers, and then
Yeah.
you build that momentum. So you go from 0 matches for 6
Yeah.
months to improve yourself, get a photographer or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
have an interesting life. Put yourself on social media,
Mm-hmm.
find your purpose, do the work, but also pursue. Hey, if you want to have a social life, do that
Yeah.
on the side. Take 1 to 2 hours a day, do that. 1 to 2 hours a week or so.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be like all day, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Just put the reps in.
Yeah.
So now we have an event this Saturday. I'm
Okay.
excited.
Announce it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
Yeah.
why don't
Fly out,
you
you
why don't you
have
talk
to
about
tell
what you're
them,
doing
yeah.
next,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
people
yeah.
can find you,
Man.
right?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
do
yeah.
a little
So-
promotion right now. Let's
Okay,
go.
okay, cool.
Promote
So
it out.
so the first thing that we're doing right now is for the standard.
Mhm.
It's the Seattle Social. So
There
it's
you
only
go.
for the Seattle the standard guys, so it's
Mhm.
exclusive. And these guys are, well dressed,
Yeah.
right? We have a theme going on. It's gonna be
Is it specifically Asian men or is
no,
it
it's
okay.
for
for
everybody.
everyone.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. So I
Okay.
think we only have 2 Asian guys that are coming up.
Okay.
Most of them are African American.
Yeah.
Some of them are white. So
Hey,
it's-
just change this, boys.
Yeah,
Let's
I mean,
change this,
no.
brother. Hey, bring it
yeah,
out.
it's
Let's
gonna be
support
good.
our
It's gonna
brother.
be fun.
Let's go
you know?
support our
Support
brother
'em.
fam, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I want to do it for the Asian community because
Yeah.
now there's social proof. I'm like, I can do this
Yeah,
for
you
the
can
for
do
the
it.
guys.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I want to show this to my friends. Like, yo, I if you want a girl, I got someone who might be interested.
Yeah.
Right now I'm making connections. Like
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend who I said, hey, I think she's interested in you.
Yeah.
And they've been dating. I'm like, cool.
Nice.
That made me happy.
Yeah,
Matchmaker right there.
Yeah,
on
exactly.
typing.
Just a simple thing,
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
want to do that for my friends, and in return, it's gonna happen to me. I'm not
Yeah.
even worried about it. I'm just putting my energy out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in that season of work.
Positive vibe.
positive vibes, doing the work,
Nice.
That's what
supporting
we
everybody.
love. Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing. Social. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be like 50 attendees. I think we have like 15, 16 guys, and then hopefully about 25.
all single men and women.
Most of
coming
them are single guys.
So that means, honey, you're not involved.
business owners,
business owners, real estate,
work in
every
IT, every aspect of life.
background, the ladies, every
ethnicity of
background.
women. Give our
Funny,
brothers
funny,
the
funny
free-
enough is a lot of them are
There's
Asian.
a lot of different.
A lot of Asian.
So I give variety to the
from
group.
the Seattle,
from
Bellevue
Seattle.
metropolitan.
Yeah,
Well, there
yeah.
you go, single people.
Yeah.
That's where you go.
There you go. Yo, if you
Okay.
need any help, let me know.
The standard event coming up.
If you want to join the standard or you're interested in the standard, send me a DM. My Instagram is at it's Tai Pham, so ITSTAIPHAM, and then my YouTube channel, which is focused mainly on fitness. I'm diving into confidence, socializing, and showing my lifestyle. It's youtube.com/TaiPhamFitness.
Nice.
That's the main channel that I post. But I'm mostly active on Instagram. And so if you're interested in coaching as well, if you actually
Go
need
there.
help with
Yeah.
fitness, it's taifam.com/Asian Boss Boy. So Asian Boss Boy is the
Nice.
brand. But just hit me up on Instagram. I'll either reach out to you or have one of my assistants hit you up and schedule a call and figure out what you need help with. In terms of socializing, in terms of confidence, we'll dive into that.
Yeah.
If you have any specific questions, hey, that's I would love to do a video on that, and because confidence is very broad and it's hard to conceptualize. So if you have any specific questions that you need, like let's say talking to a girl, what to say, or you're in school, style. I like to do style, hair, whatever. Let me know. I like to make content with that. Things that I've been working on right now is I'm in the real estate development business as well.
Yeah.
So with my family, so we're
Nice.
doing that. I'm going heavy with that. I literally,
Nice.
came home from work
Yeah.
on a Sunday, and then came here.
Nice,
So
nice.
every day is work.
Every
Right?
day's a grind, yeah. But
Yeah.
improving people's lives too at the same time.
And
No,
you
that's
can
awesome.
see,
Yeah.
guys, you can see how Tai, like, just for me sitting here next to him, I can tell, like, from his positive vibe that he is very passionate in all his fields. Like,
Yeah.
he's wanting to help you, like, really passionate about helping you. It's not like he said, it's not just putting a face there, like, trying to have that little thing. No, it's him. This is his image. This is him. This is what he's built up to for the past years.
Yeah.
And he wants you guys to also reach that goal. So if you want to change that image, you want that positive vibe, that energy, that drive, that grind that he's doing, reach out to him.
Yeah. Guys, it happens with you though, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to make that change that you want in your own head. And then there's a support network. There's guys like Tai that can
Yeah.
definitely help you get your goal, achieve the results that you want to do. But it starts with us, right? We got to make that change that mindset, break free of this matrix that we've been told our whole lives, right? And get into where we need to be, right? Any final words, Tai, before we close it out?
Man.
I love you on the show,
I
by
know.
the
Wow,
way.
thank you.
I know.
Thank
I
you.
love you on the show.
Wow, you put
I
me on the
think
spot.
I think you're doing God's work because
Yeah.
I think every Asian guy that you help, I think it's just one less depressed Asian dude.
Yeah.
One less guy that's thinking about self-deleting.
Yeah.
One less guy that's gonna have better results on the dating market, dating scene. Maybe help his marriage, help his relationship, because I think so many things that we're taught as Asian men are kind of detrimental to that respect, right?
Yeah.
And so I think you're doing God's work, man.
Thank
so I
you.
love what
Thank
you're
you.
doing.
And that's what we're
Yeah.
trying to do. Just
Yeah.
reach, one person at a time. And
I think one
reach
thing.
to the truth.
Yeah, I think one thing as well is don't worry about the things that you can't change, right? Like a lot of times it's the height,
yeah.
right? The money,
Yeah.
the white women aren't attracted to Asian guys, or Asian girls aren't even attracted.
to
Man, we wanna get that next time.
Next time.
Right,
Next
next
time.
time.
We'll
next
save her
time.
the good juicy stuff later.
Cliffhanger. Right, I'll come back. I'll come
Yeah.
back for sure. Those things you can't change.
Yeah.
Right. So don't focus on that type of energy. Focus on you. Focus on having an amazing life by yourself, with your friends, with your family. Create that life that you want. Might take a year. It might take 2 years. It took me 5-6 years. I'm still in the trenches. I'm still going through it. I'm still. It's that season.
Yeah.
It's that season, and different seasons require different energies, and you got to put that yourself into different aspects of your life.
Yeah.
Right. This year I focused a lot about relationships. But now in the later down this year, I'm focused on my career.
Yep.
So you have to focus on different seasons of your life, and you making sure that you are the priority. You have to make yourself a priority. Make the changes that you want to see in your life, and you will eventually get the results that you want.
I agree.
Wonderful. We'll end it on that, guys. That was some great, wise words. Thank you once again for coming on the channel. Guys, hey, as always, check him out, right? His Instagram, all his connections will be on our, obviously, in our posts, right?
Yep.
And then, of course, guys, subscribe. You guys love our content. We're going to be bringing more guests like this on the show, help you guys level up, help our Asian community get better, right? 2023, 2024, and onwards. Let's get the Asian American community to the level that I know we can get it to.
Yep.
All right.
One step at a time. Love you.
See you
Thank
guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Thanks, Tai.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Oh
Awesome.
my God.